bhavatu sahanau bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Apyayantu Mamangani Vak Pranaschakshushrotramaso Balamindriyani Cha Sarvani Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakuryam Mama Brahma Nirakarod Anirakaranamastu Anirakaranam me astu Tadatmani nirate yaupanishatsu dharmaste mai santu te mai santu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Ittiraksharamudgitamupasita Om Iteshyudgayate Tasyopavyakyanam Bhagavan Martyam va idam shariram Attam Mrityuna Tadasya Amrutasya Asharirasya Atmanah Adhishthanam Atto Vai Sashariraha Priya Priyabhyam Navai Sasharirasya Sadaha Priya Priyayoho Apahadiraste Ashariram Vavasantam Na Priya Priyes Prashataha Ashariram Vavasantam Na Priya Priyes Prashataha. One who is Asharira, unembodied, Priya Priya Nasprashataha. To him, the Priya and Apriya, the pleasant and unpleasant, Nasprashataha, do not touch him, do not affect him. So, in this discussion, Bhashyakar explained that Priya and Apriya do not affect him. Both of these are the Karaphala. Priya means pleasure, which is the result of the Punya karma. Apriya is the result of the Papa karma, meaning that both of these are incidental. They are appearing and disappearing. That's the nature of them. They come and go. So he is not affected by them. The question was, if he is devoid of the experience of both unhappiness and happiness, then what remains with him? What remains with him is the Swarupa Sukham, the happiness which is his own nature, which of course can neither be gained nor be given up because it's his own nature. So Bhashya explained how the word sparsha, always involves the contact between two entities, like Shita Sparsha, Pushna Sparsha. Just as when Devadatta takes a dip in the cool Ganges water, then he has touch or contact with the cold, and similarly with the heat. But you cannot say that fire has contact with the heat or sun has contact with brightness because they are the nature. And similarly, Ananda or happiness being the nature of the self, it cannot be denied. What can be denied is what is incidental. The nature cannot be denied. Meaning that it can never be that the fire is not hot or sun is not bright. And so it cannot be that Atma is not Ananda. So what can be denied is what is incidental. Therefore, Priya that is denied in case of the wise person is the incidental happiness, result of karma. Vijnanam Anandam Brahma. Upanishad says that Brahma is the nature of Vijnanam, consciousness, Anandam, happiness, fullness. Anando Brahmeti Vijana, that Brahma is Ananda. Yogoi Bhuma Tat Sukham. So that is Brahman or Bhuma or infinite, that is happiness. Then the next question is, if happiness, Ananda is the nature of self, how do you experience it? So how do you know that I am happiness? The question is, how do I know that I am liberated? How do I know that I have attained Ananda? So this is the question here. Nanu bhumna priyasya ekatve. A bhuman, that is Brahman, which is self, which is the priya or Ananda. So if self and Ananda are one, identical, then asamvedyatvat, then I cannot become the object of experience of myself, because I cannot be the subject-object divided in one entity. So if Ananda is my nature or Purnatma is nature, it can never become the object of my experience. Asamvedyatvat or Swarupenava Nitya Samvedyatvat. Or you can say that because it is my Swarupa, it is always experience. Then also if it is experience, then also does not seem to be useful to me because it doesn't make me happy. In spite of Ananda being my nature, I do not find myself happy, which means that even if that Ananda is always being experienced, so what? Either I cannot experience it because it is myself, or it is always experienced because it is myself. Either way, Ananda cannot become the object of my experience, which is what Indra wants. The Indrasya tadishtam, that situation when the happiness cannot be experienced, being one's own self, or in spite of it being experienced, that is never felt, I never realize it. Either way, that happiness, which is the nature of the self, does not seem to be what Indra desires. Because Indra complained and rejected about that situation. Indra said, I do not see any benefit in this situation where the Atma in the deep sleep does not know himself, nor does he know anything else. So that situation when he does not experience himself, nor does he experience anything else, Vinasameva apito bhavati, it looks as though he is completely lost, he has become non-existent. Nahamatra bhogyam pashyami, I do not see any benefit in that. So Indra did not see any benefit in the way he understood the self. From that we can derive where does he see the benefit. Indra has not stated where he sees the benefit. But from his statement as to where he does not feel the benefit, we can understand tad indrasishtam yad bhutani cha atmanam cha janati. So that alone seems to be desirable Indra, that he knows other things as well as knows himself. It is that consciousness which is what Indra wants. Nacha priyam jana kinchit janati. He wants to know the self, wants to know things other than himself. At the same time, he wants his experience to be totally devoid of unpleasantness and happiness. Veti sarvam lokan. The thing is that sarvam shalokan apnoti sarvam shakaman. So he wants to attain. So he wants to know that I have attained all the worlds. Meaning that he expects some, an attainment, an experience of attainment of all the worlds, an experience of attainment of all the kama, of the desirable objects. There is no attainment, there is no experience. So he wants that knowledge. He does not want a knowledge where there is no experience. He wants a knowledge where there is experience of what he wants. Satyam etam ishtam indrasya. So this may be what Indra thinks he wants. But in fact, that is not what is desirable for Indra. So that's what Indra may desire, thinking that is beneficial to him. But no, what Indra desires is not beneficial to him. So, hitam cha indrasya prajapatena vaktavyam. Prajapati has to say to Indra, or teach Indra that which is beneficial to Indra. Vyomavat ashriratmataya sarvabhuta loga kamatmatva upagamenaya prapti. So what Prajapati wants to convey to Indra, and what is really beneficial to Indra, is attainment of all the worlds as his own self. Having attained which, he will never lose them. So, vyom ashariratmataya, as one's own self is unembodied, sarva bhuta loka kamatmatva upagamena, by the knowledge that I am the self of all the bhutas, all the lokas, all the kamas. Ya prapti, meaning it is prapti or attainment of what is already attained. Tad Indra, that alone is beneficial to Indra or desirable for Indra, or what Indra really desires. The desire behind the desires is this. Vaktavyam prajapatina. That's what Prajapati say. The ragnya rajyaptivat iti. That Prajapati does not mean for Indra an accomplishment of the nature of attaining those worlds like a king attains a kingdom. What he wants is for Indra to discover that he's already attained all the worlds and the desires and the kamas. Tatrevam sati kam kena vejaniyat atmaikatve. When Atma is one, it is Atma is the serve of all the worlds, serve of all the desires, serve all the happiness. In that case, how can there be a duality of the knower and known in the case of that knowledge of the happiness of the Atma? Nanu asmin pakshis tribhirva yanirva. So later on in the 8.12.3 it will be said that a wise person sports with women and with vehicles and he revels. Ityad Aishwarya Shruta Anupanna. So that Shruti which describes the results that a wise person attains is describing some accomplishment, attainment by the wise person. So, Stribirva, Yanairva, Jakshat Kridin Ramamana, eating, laughing, sporting, reveling with women, with vehicles, etc. So, that result that the wise person attains clearly is of the nature of experiencing something that he did not have so far. It is of the nature of attaining something that is not attained. So, when you say that what is desirable or beneficial to Indra is attainment of what is already attained, the way the result is described seems to be the nature of attainment of what is not attained. That is the result that is described for the wise person. And so, anupannaha. Then that Shruti which describes the result, the benefit, the reward that the wise person gains, does not seem to be tenable, doesn't seem to be in keeping with the reasoning. Bhashyaka says, na sarvatmana sarvala sambandha upatte avirodhat. Sarvatmana. The result of the knowledge is that I am the self of all. So, sarva phala sambandha. So, when wise person discovers himself the self of all, automatically he gets connected to the experiences that everybody experiences. Because he is the self of all. So, whatever anybody experiences becomes his experience. In that sense, you can say that so mruda eva sarva ghata karakunda adhyaptehi. The attainment is like the clay attaining the state of a pot or a water pot or a jar, etc. So also, wise person knows himself to be the self of all those people who experience variety of things. Vidusha brahmaso ashariratmavidah jivan muktasya tadavasthayam pariched abhiman nivritya sarvatmatvapattau. So when the knowledge of the true nature of the self takes place, then pariched abhiman nivritya. So right now I take myself to be parichinna or limited to this one body, mind, sense complex. But when I come to know the true nature of myself, then that identification with or the notion or the complex or the delusion that I am this body, mind, sense complex goes away. Pariched abhiman nivritya. There is the elimination of the abhimana, the identification or the notion of my being a limited self. Sarvatmatva apattau. Tat sarvam abhavat. He as though became everything, so attained the state of being sarvatma, the self of all. Sarva phala sambandha. Therefore you can say that because now he has attained the state of being the self of all, it is equivalent to his attaining the experience of all the people. Yena yena yadyat phalanubhuvate tat sarvam asyeveti stutyartham uchyate. So whatever kind of happiness anybody experiences, yat saukhyam lesha lesha deme shakradev nirvritaha. The fraction of each happiness makes all devatas such as Sakradi etc. unhappy. So you can say that in his happiness is included the happiness of Indra and everybody else, that you can say. Or you can say he experiences happiness that anybody experiences. That is Tutyartham Uchyate, is only stated for extolling the knowledge. Vidusha Brahma Bhavam Apannasya Tadrupena Sarvopadanattvena Sarvapnim Drishtantena Vyanakti. He sees himself as the Upadana Karanam, the material cause of everything, means the self of all, just as the clay is the self of all the pots and pans. Therefore, Bhashyakara said that it is not anupannam, it is not untenable, not unreasonable. Tari jakshanadivat narakadi dukkhasya prapte hetvam. So, syadri shankate, in that case what happens is, if you say that he experiences a happiness, that everybody experiences, then he will also experience unhappiness that everybody experiences. Including he is the self of everybody who is even in Naraka. He experienced that also. In that case, if this knowledge deserves to be extolled or praised, it also deserves to be condemned. So all of this we went through, and then so Bhashyakara. Therefore the question was, Nanu sarvatmatve dukkha sambandho visyadiri chet. If he knows himself as Sarvatma and he contacts simultaneously all the beings and therefore experiences what all the beings experience, in that case, dukkha sambandho visyad, he will be equally connected to dukkha or the unhappiness that everybody experiences. So on the page 406, Bhashyakara says, na. So if you look at Anandagiri on the line 19 or 18, Dukkhasya dukkhatva abhavat tasyatma vidmarapena dukkhi bhavishyati samadhatte. It's a very strange samadhanam or answer. Is dukkhasya dukkhatva abhavat. See, unhappiness is not unhappy. Dukkhasya dukkhatva bhavat. Poison is not poisoned, So unhappiness is not unhappy. Somebody who has unhappiness is unhappy, but dukkhasya dukkhatva bhavat. Unhappiness doesn't have the state of being unhappy. Therefore, tasya atma vidvan apena dukkhi bhavish. Therefore, vidvan becomes the atma of dukkha also. And dukkha is not dukkhi. The vidvan also is not dukkhi. So Bhashyakara said, na dukkhasyapi atmatva upagamādid avirodha. Dukkhasyapi atmatva upagamād. Because by virtue of this knowledge, when the wise person is the self of all, he becomes the self of dukkha also. Never, he cannot be dukkhi. Because dukkham cannot be dukkhi. Then says Anandagiri, tarhi dukkhyanam atma mukta iti dukkhi syat. All right. Wise person being the self of dukkha is not dukkhi, but a wise person also is self of dukkhi. See, when you are the self of all, you are the self of the one who is sukhi, happy, as well as dukkhi, unhappy. Then a wise person is this self unhappy, then what's the benefit there? So Bhashyakara said, Atmani avidya kalpana nimittani dukkhani. Hey, dukkha is something that is superimposed upon Atma. Meaning the person is dukkhi is not really dukkhi. The person who is dukkhi is not really dukkhi because he superimposes the dukkha upon the self and then declares himself to be dukkhi. So, avidya kalpina nimittani dukkhani. He superimposes parichhinnatvam, the limitedness upon the self. he superimposes the isolation, the division, the separatedness upon the self. Thus, he dukkha nimitta, all kinds of the causes of the dukkha is superimposed upon himself and then feels unhappy. So dukkha is not anybody's nature. Dukkha is the result of the superimposition because of ignorance. Rajvamiva sarpadi kalpana nimittani. Just as upon the Rajju, the rope, snake, etc. superimposed, so also upon the Atma, dukkha or unhappiness superimposed. Sacha avidya asharira atmaikatva swarupa darshanena uchinna dukkha nimitta uchinna. Sacha avidya dukkha nimitta. It is avidya that is the cause of dukkha. Because avidya brings about a superimposition upon the self, adhyasa, superimposition. Because of ignorance, I take the body, etc. to be myself. And then the limitation of body and so forth upon the self, and that's how I feel unhappy. Because of ignorance, I take the world to be real, and then take it to be separate from me, and then suffer from a sense of division. So all the suffering is caused by ignorance. Even for an ignorant person, meaning that ignorant person is not unhappy in a real sense. The unhappiness of ignorant person is because of the superimposition brought about by avidya. Sacha avidya asharira atmaikatva swarupa darshana uchinna. That ignorance which is the cause of unhappiness, uchinna is uprooted, is dispelled by the knowledge of what? Atmaikatva swarupa darshanena asharira atmaikatva. That I am an unembodied one, I am the self of all. By that the ignorance of the self is dispelled. And therefore dukkha sambandha ashanka na sambhavati. Therefore, there cannot be any doubt of the connection with the unhappiness because it is there only when there is ignorance. Ekastatha sarvbhutandaratma na lipyate loka dukkhena bhakya. Just as the sun, who is the Atma of the eyes, is not tainted by any kind of sins committed on account of seeing something which is unholy. Because sun is not connected with the eyes, he is Atma of the eyes, alright. So also, ekastata sarvabhutandaratma. Even though this individual feels unhappy on account of ignorance, the Atma, that is the self of even that unhappy person also, is not unhappy because nalipyate is not in any way tainted by the nature, by the attributes of what is superimposed. Iti dukkha sambandha ashanka na sambhavati. Therefore the ashanka, the doubt of dukkha sambandha, the association of the wise person with dukkha is not possible because the sambandha or connection with dukkha is only because of ignorance. Says Anandagiri, na tavat atmana svabhavataha dukkhitvam. Atma is svabhavataha sukhi, but not svabhavataha dukhi. Na atmana svabhavataha dukkhitvam. The state of being unhappy is not the nature of the Atma. Kintu avidyakam. So when one feels dukhi or unhappy, it is only due to avidya. Sacha muktasya dagdha. And for a liberated person, the ignorance has been dispelled. Iti dukkhitva prasakti ityartha. Therefore, for the wise person, even though he is the self of dukhi, he is not dukhi, the self is not dukhi. The dukkha is superimposed upon the self by ignorance, which the wise person no more does. So line 31 says, Tatcha sukham vidusha sarupameti tat sambandho na viruddhyate. The sukha being the nature of the wise person, therefore connection with sukha that somebody experiences does not contradict his nature. Dukkhantu nayamameti, but dukkha that other people experience being the product of ignorance, wise person is not connected with them. Iti purvavakya parihara suchita eva. तथापि तेषां सर्वभक्षांगी कारण परिहारांतरं वक्तुं तेषां सगुण ब्रह्मविदां तावत् संबंधमाह. So nirguna brahmavid, the knower of the self is nirgunam or attributeless, cannot have any connection with dukkha as explained. तथापि तेषां सर्ववेक्ष अंगीकारेण परिहारांतरम वक्तुम. Then also he says, okay, he is a self of the unhappy person also. Then by another method also, the lack of connection of dukkha for the wise person is explained here. Tesham sagun brahma vidusham tavat sambandhamaha. So Saguna Brahmavid has connection with all the happiness. So Bhashyakara said, or if you look at Anandagiri, Tari Vidya Dagdhayam Avidyayam Dadadhyaropitam Aishwaramapi Ishwarasya Saguna Vidya Phalabhutam Dagdhameva iti. We say that ignorance is dispelled. And therefore the superimposition due to ignorance also is gone. And dukkha being the product of superimposition is gone. Then even Aishwarya also is superimposed. Atma is nirguna. Therefore, to say that there is an attainment at the level of Atma cannot be. So this laughing and eating and laughing and sporting and traveling, etc., is only to connection that Atma has with something or the other. So that also cannot be. When ignorance which brings about that superimposition, and then one person feels that I'm happy, I'm enjoying, I'm eating, I'm enjoying, I'm reveling. So Saguna Vidya Phalabhutam, that can primarily apply to the knower of Saguna Brahma. But Dagdhameva, as far as the knower of Nirguna Brahma is concerned, that also, along with the Vidya, that also goes. If connection with dukkha is not there, connection with sukha also cannot be. Katham stutyartham ihatad upadesha siddhi. So if you want to say that there cannot be connection with dukkha for the wise person, he cannot have connection with sukha also, it also belongs to upadhi. So then how come the experience of happiness is presented here for the purpose of extolling the knowledge? Then equally you have to present experience of unhappiness for condemning the knowledge. So Shuddha, the Bhashyakara, so let us read that line number 3 on the page 406. Shuddha Sattva Sankalpa Nimittanam Tu Kamanam Ishvaradeya Sambandha Sarvabhuteshu Manasanam. Shuddha Sattva Sankalpa Nimittanam Manasanam Kamanam Sarvabhuteshu Ishvaradeya Sambandha. So Saguna Brahmavid, the one who is the Upasaka or meditated upon Saguna Brahma, has attained identity with Saguna Brahma. And Saguna Brahma is what? Shuddha Sattva. So, Vishuddha Sattva Mayopadikam Chaitanyam. Saguna Brahma means consciousness, which has its upadhi of the nature of the Maya, which is Vishuddha Sattva, devoid of all impurities. And that Maya has connection. So through that Vishuddha Sattva then, the Saguna Brahma also is connected as self of all. Hiranyagarbha is self of all. So knower of Hiranyagarbha also becomes self of all. In that sense, he has connection with Aishwarya of all. So Shuddha Sattva Sankalpa Nimittanam. So whatever the desires or experiences that arise because of sankalpa or the desire that takes place in a mind enjoying Shuddha Sattva. So that person becomes Satya Kamaha, Satya Sankalpa. A person enjoying purity of mind becomes one whose desires always get fulfilled. So Satya Kamaha, Satya Sankalpa, unfailing desires, unfailing will. Meaning that the one who has realized Saguna Brahma becomes one of unfailing will. In that sense, he gets connected with the Aishwarya or the experience of all the people. Because he is physically the self of all. See, knower of Nirguna Brahma is self of all, inasmuch as he transcends everything. The knower of Saguna Brahma is self of all, in the sense that he pervades everything. Saguna Brahma is all pervading, Nirguna Brahma transcends everything. So both ways you can say that you are the self of all. Because gold or clay pervades all the parts. In that sense, you can say that the one identified as the clay becomes identified with all the pots and pans. Or one who knows the clay also transcends all the pots and pans. So here, you can say that he pervades everything. Therefore, Manasanam, Kamanam, Ishvaradeha Sambandha. Since he literally pervades everything, therefore, he has the contact with, he is Vishuddha Sattva. So this knower of Saguna Brahma also enjoys a mind that enjoys the purity, otherwise he would not have realized Saguna Brahma. And Vishuddha Sattva cannot have a connection with dukkha. In Sattva there can be only happiness. Therefore this one gets connected with or pervades the happiness that is the result of the Vishuddha Sattva. So therefore Ishvaradeha Sambandha Sarva Bhuteshu, with all the beings. So look at Anandagiri. Shuddham Sattvam Rajastamobhyam Asprashtam. What is Shuddha Sattva? What is pure Sattva? Rajastamobhyam Asprashtam. Asprashtam, untouched by, unconnected by the Rajas and Tamas. Because in any case, the Shuddha Sattva is the nature of the mind. The Rajas and Tamas are only incidental or imposters or intruders. So they can be removed completely. Rajas and Tamas can be removed. Sattva cannot be removed. So when you rub the sandalwood, piece of sandalwood, then you can remove the external or incidental stink, which is superficial. But you can never get rid of the fragrance of a sandalwood being its nature. And therefore, now happiness is something very natural for the person enjoying the Vishuddha Sattva. So Shuddham Sattvam Rajastamobhyam Asprashtam Tasmat Maya Ekadeshat Jataha Sankalpaha. So Maya is Trigunatmika. Maya Ekadesha. Shuddha Sattva is only one part of Maya. From that the Sankalpas are born. Nimittani Yesham Kamanam. So those sankalpas or desires become the Pitruloka Kama Bhavati. ekada bhavati, tridha bhavati, etc. All of these are the sankalpas or the desires arising in the mind, enjoying the Shuddha Sattva, purity of this Sattva. So those sankalpas are the nimitta or the cause for kama or the happiness. Aishwarya bhedanam. So pitrulo kama bhavati, etc. So the Aishwarya, different kinds of Aishwarya. Ekada bhavati, tridha bhavati. All the siddhis or powers are there. And all those powers they are the product of the will of the Shuddha Sattva. So, because they enjoy unfailing will, whatever he wills, that happens. Te tatha uktaha. And so they are called what? Shuddha Sattva Sankalpa Nimittanam Kamanam. That is explained here. Then, Sarveshu Bhuteshu Sambandha. Tesham Sarveshu Vishayeshu Manomatrena Ishvara Vidhyanarupena Siddhanam Ishvarakhyena Svabhavena Abhisambandha. Ishvara Deha Sambandha Sarvabhuteshu. So Tesham Sarvabhuteshu Sarveshu Vishayeshu. All the objects. Manomatra Ishvara Vidhyanarupena Siddhanam. See, the difference between the ordinary person and this wise person who has realized Saguna Brahman is that there is no separation between the desire and the experience. Just as in dream, when things and things appear, so also for this wise person, things and things appear. So, Manomatrana Ishvara Vidhyan Rupena Siddhanam. Those kamas, the pleasures, are accomplished merely by the thought taking place in the mind. So, Manomatrana, there is no more content in the meaning, nothing else is required. Sankalpa itself becomes the upadana karanam for those pleasures, it doesn't need anything else. Ishvara Vidhyan Rupena. And so, they are of the nature of dhyanam, the meditation about Ishvara. And Ishvara is Sarvajna, Sarvashaktiman, Satya Kama, Satya Sankalpa. So Ishvara Manomatrana, Ishvara Vidhya Rupena Siddhanam. So they are accomplished merely by the meditation on Ishvara, identifying the Ishvara. Ishvarakhyena Svabhavena Abhisambandha. So that's how he becomes connected to the Ishvarya or accomplishment that anybody has, because he is connected with them through his mind which enjoys the pure Sattva. You can call it the mind of Ishvara or the mind of Upasaka, both are the same. So because he has become one with Ishvara, therefore Bhashyakara said, Ishvara Deha Sambandha. Sarveshu Bhuteshu, with all the beings, he is connected with the Deha of the Ishvara, being the self of all the beings. So Svabhavena Abhisambandha Maya Avasthayam Siddhati. This is all in the realm of still Maya. All real experiences and real connections are only in the realm of Maya. Then it must be Shuddha Sattva Maya. Otherwise, there will be also the connection with all the unhappiness. So, in the realm of Maya, your mind should be enjoying pure sattva for you to be connected with happiness. In the realm of knowledge, no connection is required. So, Bhashyakara says, Sarvabhuteshu manasanam ishvare sambandha siddhyati. Let's see what the Tikakara explains. line Ishvara Animadi Aishwaryam Prapta Saguna Brahma Vidwan Abhipreta Ishvara Sambandha. What is Ishvara? Only Upasaka. So Animadi Aishwaryam Prapta Saguna Brahma Vidwan. So one is known Saguna Brahma, again identifies Saguna Brahma, and therefore also can identify with all the siddhis or accomplishments, the powers like anima, etc. Tat sambandha manasanam kamanam asti iti shesha manasanam kamanam asti. That sambandha he has with the minds of all the beings. And since the sankalpa and the enjoyment, there is no distance between them, therefore he enjoys whatever kind of sankalpa takes place in anybody's mind, I guess, No, evamapi shariratma vidi tat sambandha kadam. All right. For Saguna Brahmavid, this sambandha is in the real sense. But for Ashariratma Vidi, in case of the person, the wise person who knows himself, Asharira, unembodied self, Katham tat sambandha upavaditaha. So you explain upavatti means reasoning as to how the knower of Saguna Brahma can be said to be connected with those experiences through the mind. But the wise person who knows himself as Nirguna Brahma transcends the mind, therefore how can he have a connection? Whereas Anandagiri says, Nanu jivanam eva avidya tat karya sambandha na ishvarasyeti. How do you say Ishvara has connection with all the beings? Jiva has connection. So na itya parayeva iti. But if you want to look at this Narendra Puriyam, line 9, Shuddha Sattvam Dharmadi Asangi Maya Bhutam Shuddha Sattvam Dharmadi Asangi. Shuddha Sattvam is devoid of the Punya and Papa both. Meaning Shuddha Sattva is not result of Punya and Papa, no Sakama Karma at all there. Shuddha Sattva is result only of the Upasana or of the Nishkama Upasana. That's all. Maya Bhutam, still in the realm of Maya. Tasmat Jata Sankalpa. From that Shuddha Sattva mind or the Maya, the Sankalpa or the desire is born. Nimittam Yesham Kamanam Aishvara Vedanam. That Sankalpa desire itself becomes the cause for generating that Aishwarya or Siddhi or the power or the experience. Te tasoktaha Shuddha Sattva Sankalpa Nimittanam Kamanam. So Tesham Ishvara Sambandha Natu Asmadadi Avidyadhyaropitanam. So Tesham, for those people there is Ishvara Sambandha. For those desires there is the connection with the Ishvara Deha, the body of the Ishvara. Those Asmadadi Avidyadhyaropitanam. Those kamas cannot be connected to us who are superimposing the upadi because of ignorance. We cannot be connected with those kamas which the wise person, this upasaka gets connected because of his mind enjoying Shuddha Sattva. Te me satyaha kama anutapidana. Look, in our heart also all the kamas are there. In Dharakasha it was said that the whole universe is there, including all the desires. But you don't experience them because Anutapidana, all of those happiness and objects of desire, they're all veiled by the falsehood, by ignorance. Parasa Shaktir Vividaiva Shruvete Swabhavik Ityadi Shrudehe. Meaning that all those kamas are there, but ignorant person cannot contact or connect with those kamas with ignorance, and wise person connects with them only because of knowledge. Meaning kamas are already there in your heart. When your mind becomes Vishuddha Sattvam, then there is connection with those kamas that are already there. The ignorant person is denied of them because of ignorance. So when Upanishad said, Ime kama anudapidana, Upanishad meant that all the kamas, the objects of pleasure, are already there in the Dharakasha. But they are veiled by ignorance, which is dispelled by the Upasaka. Or Parasa Shaktir Vividaiva Shruvete Swabhavike. Swabhavike Parashakti. that supreme power, which is all accomplishments or the power, Shakti, is there, naturally there in the Atma, with which the wise person gets connected. Meaning that the connection of this Upasaka Saguna Brahmavit is quite appropriate because his mind enjoys that purity, on account of which he is able to contact the Shakti or the Kama that are already existing, which an ignorant person is denied because of ignorance. Asmat avidya nirapeksha aishwarya avagamad. Asmat avidya nirapeksha aishwarya avagamad. So Aishwarya, which is what? Nirapeksham, you see, independent of the ignorance. So ignorance which is there in ourselves, the Aishwarya, Nirapeksham, meaning that which is unconnected to or not dependent upon that ignorance. Avidya, dahepi. So another thing is that you attain that Aishwarya even when there is ignorance. There is another way. Avidya nirapeksha aishwarya avagamad. So even though the Saguna Brahmavid, the knower of Saguna Brahma, is not really free from ignorance totally, but as far as Upasana is concerned, or attainment of all the powers is concerned, an ignorant person also can attain the powers. For attainment of animadi powers or siddhis, you don't have to be Brahmavit. You can be ignorant and still you can attain all those powers as yogis do, in fact. So asmad avidya nirapeksha aishwarya vagamat avidya dahepi vidya siddha kama prapta vidhanam ghatate. So even when avidya goes away, those things remain because they are not produced from avidya. They are there in spite of avidya. So they are there whether avidya is there or not there. So avidya dahepi. So suppose a wise person was an upasaka earlier and he attained all those aishwarya. He attained all those aishwarya when he was ignorant. Now that the Brahma Jnanam takes place, then also that doesn't go away. As in case of Yamaraja, for example, it is said that how can Yama means death and death is cruel. How can it be Brahma Vidyacharya? So, Brahma Vidyacharya, Nachiketa Secha, Namo Vaivasvate, Brahma Vidyacharya, Mrutyave. So, thing is that the powers of the Yama he attained when he was Upasaka. And after gaining the knowledge, those powers don't go away. Because they are independent of, they can be there even with ignorance, they can be there independent of ignorance. Their powers are attained independent of ignorance. Therefore, Vidya Siddha Kama Prapta Vidhanam Ghatate Ityartha. Therefore, even the siddhis or powers because of Vidya, means because Saguna Vidya, it can be there for the wise person also. Meaning that whatever powers he attained, because of the upasana that he carried out earlier, they will all remain with him even after the knowledge of Brahman. Naturally, because Brahma Jnanam doesn't change anything. So, everybody has some accomplishment anyway. Somebody knows 3 languages, 5 languages, 7 languages, Sanskrit, this, that. So, Mimamsa, all that remains, after Brahma Jnanam also. Jivanabhi Ishwarat Bhinnatvam Avagamyate. No, Jivanapi Ishwarat Bhinnatvam Avagamyate Viruddha Dharma Krandatvat Tat Katham Ishwar Sharirigatam Kamavapti Uchyate. But Jiva is different from Ishvara. It says Viruddha Dharma Akrandatvat. Jiva is Alpa in every way and Ishvara is complete in every way. So Jiva is Alpagnya, Alpashaktiman, Alpavyapi. Ishvara is Sarvagnya, Sarvashaktiman, Sarvavyapi. Meaning they are possessed of totally contradictory attributes. So how can they be one? Therefore Jiva is accepted to be different from Ishvara. Katham Ishvaragata kamavapti. Then how can one enlightened jiva also, jiva can have attainment of what Ishvara has? So sarva bhuteshu iti manasanam, says the tika, manasanam iti अन्वय व्यतिरेकाभ्याम कामानाम मनोविकारात्वगमात् न जीवाः तत्वतः संसारिण इति. A jiva also is on the viruddha dharma. All these totally contradictory attributes are only the upadhi, not the level of the self. So kamana manovikarattvat, the desires are also nothing but the modification of mind, not modification of atma. So therefore, sarvan partha manogatan, kaman partha manogatan. Yada sarve pramuchyante kama yasya hridishritaha. So kamana manovikarattvat avagamat. So we accept kama as nothing but the modification of mind. Kama, sankalpa, etc. Na jiva tavat tatvada samsarina iti. Therefore, jiva is in reality not samsaris. Viruddha akrandatvam asiddham. Therefore, the nature of jiva is not opposed to nature of Ishvara. The upadhi of jiva is opposed to upadhi of Ishvara, but not the nature of jiva. Rupam rupam pratirupo babhuva. Just as one fire enters many combustibles and as though assumes their form, so also one atma has entered all these upadhis and as though have become taken their forms. Eko deva sarvabhutesh gudha, is one deva alone who is hidden or the self of all the beings. Not that the beings are different atmas, atma is one in all the beings. Ityadibhya shrudibhya. So therefore jiva can connect Ishvara there because jiva in essence the same as Ishvara. Therefore when jiva becomes free from all these rajas and tamas, then jiva also being the same consciousness connects with that Vishuddha Sattva Kamas. Stuyateva chiddhatuhu mayopadau sati satya kamadi guna sampanna savidyakarya manassu pratibimbataya samsarati survaikya viprayana mukta ishvarya sankirtanam na viruddhyate iti sthitam. Stuyateva chiddhatuhu. So mayopadau. Chiddhatu means what? Of the nature of essence of the consciousness. So stuyate chiddha, the one who is praised is the consciousness. Mayopadau satyakama guna sampanna. It is consciousness that is called satyakama or having unfailing will or unfailing desire on account of the upadhi of Maya. Sevavidya kareshu manassu pratibimbataya samsareti. Same chiddhatu who is said to be of unfailing desires and unfailing will, the same consciousness gets reflected also in the ignorance, the mind of the ignorant people also. So manassu pratibimbataya samsareti. Same chiddhatu or consciousness is called samsari. Samsari is not some other entity. Same chiddhatu or consciousness, when reflected in the mind, appears to be limited and therefore he is called samsari. But really his nature is bimba and not pratibimba. He is swarupa aikya viprayana, and therefore, as far as swarupa is concerned, there is aikya or identity of jiva and Ishvara. Iti mukta Ishvarya sankirtam na viruddhyate. Therefore, the wise person has to gain the same Aishvarya or same siddhis or powers as Hiranyagarbha has, because he is also, because of Vishuddha Sattva, he also become one with that, identified with that. It is sthidam. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. Oh. मुच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये